It's an issue prison authorities have long struggled with. Female offenders, who are also mothers, should their children be made to suffer because mum's behind bars, or is there a better way? Chris Urquhart has been investigating.
It's most certainly not a walk in the park.
When you think of jail, you probably think of a place like this, but tall fences and razor wires might be the place for criminals, but not for children whose parents might have committed a crime but are innocent themselves. Well, we're about to discover a different type of jail, and at this place, just across the road, the only thing keeping the prisoners from the outside world, a pull fence like this one. We're entering Emu Plains Correctional Centre in Sydney's west. A women's prison especially designed for offenders with children. It's minimum security for those who've committed less serious crimes and those approaching their release date.
Adults, 38 including 2 to their 80s.
Make no mistake though, it's no holiday camp. Linda's in here with her 6-month-old daughter for property offences. They've spent time at Emu Plains and in a similar program in nearby Parramatta.
Chase has done nothing wrong. She didn't ask to be born, and so for her to be able to have that time with me is just as important as me being able to have the time with her.
Here, if approved, babies can be with their mothers until the age of 5. Older children are allowed to visit on weekends and in the school holidays. The kids play with each other and become friends.
Kisses. Oh, that's so cute.
Some of the women prisoners have children, some don't. Some are pregnant when they get here. Whoever they are, they've done the crime and are now doing time.
It's not her fault that I made the decisions that I made, and so I'm just grateful that I was given the chance to be able to have her with me.
The benefits aren't just for the children. The mothers have a lower reoffending rate than others in the normal prison population. Then again, this is no normal prison. This isn't how you'd imagine it, would you?
No. When you think of jail, you think of the barbed wire and the cells, not like this.
Sorry, I didn't. But still, that alarm you just heard is for them. It's the daily lockup. An hour in their cells, and here they look more like rooms. The prisoners each have a room of their own in these demountable houses which contain between 8 and 10 offenders. The prisoners and their kids are locked in at night as well. Jennifer is nearing the end of her sentence. She's been a victim of domestic violence in the past. In a way, jail is a safe place for herself and her daughter, who's 22 months.
Oh, well, we get up at 6, me and her, and then 6:30 it's lockout. So then she has breakfast and then she'll watch a bit of cartoons.
Not every woman with a child is eligible for the program. Authorities make a decision according to the best interests of the child.
You want to sit in your pram? You're going to sit up here.
In here, they have access to doctors and other forms of support. But it's still jail. Do kids really belong here?
I could see on where they say no, because it's not fair on the kids. But then it's not fair on the kids either to be away from their mums either.
Craig Osland is the jail's general manager and wants a better life for all these kids.
How many squares are there?
One.
He says many of the children in the program would otherwise have nowhere else to go. So do these mothers get an easier ride through jail just because they have kids?
I would understand the criticism, but the facts are that they're intensively scrutinised in regards to their application. This is not a program that's accessible to the majority of the females in custody.
Women with current alcohol, drug or mental health issues aren't eligible. Safety checks are done on everyone. It's a minimum security prison, but at the same time you still don't take any nonsense from anyone.
Oh no, not at all. Compliance here is, in fact, it'd be more intensive because we do have children that reside here. The 0 to 5 scenario, I think, is absolutely critical for a child's development, and this facility allows children to have access to their mother during that most crucial time.
So what happens to these kids once their parents' sentences are complete? Do they go on to live lives of crime themselves?
She went into jail when I was 7 and then she got moved to Emu Plains when I was about 8.
15 years ago, as a child, Laura spent time with her mother behind bars. She was raised by her dad on the outside, but holidays and weekends were spent with mum in jail.
A lot of my friends didn't know just because I was worried that they'd think if my mother was in jail, well, what does that mean about me?
But now you've got no shame in telling your story?
No, because I've worked out her crimes are her crimes, so I'm a different person.
Isn't she ever? She leads a completely different life and now has a daughter of her own, raising a family and holding down a job, and you'll never guess where.
Finished school, I've started my psychology, and then I became a casual correctional officer, and I'm now a permanent correctional officer at Wellington Correctional Centre.
As a correctional officer, she one day hopes to work back at the Emu Plains Centre, helping the kids. If she knows anything, she knows that kids need to be with the ones that love them.
How important is it for a kid to get a cuddle from mum?
I think it's very important, yeah.
And for those in uniform and those in green, the view is the same. That whatever the women in this jail have done wrong, the kids have done nothing. And like any child anywhere else in the world, what they really need is love and time with their mum.
She hasn't done anything wrong.
Great report by Chris Urquhart.